Hello again, this is Tesla Veteran, just doing a quick video here about 5 things that I really enjoy in my Model 3, or that I think make it stand out among other cars that I've driven in the past. I have driven the Model S as well, so we can kind of give that a little bit of a comparison. Not the same car, by no means, but just kind of give it a little comparison between the two, between the Model 3 and the S, which is the next closest competitor as far as electric cars go in the Tesla range. So what I really love about the Model 3 first is that you're going to see is the minimalist interior in the car itself. The car is gorgeous on the inside. It kind of goes against what in the past you have seen in vehicles, that there's not much to it as far as the center gauge cluster is concerned. Is one big screen. So the only buttons that I'm aware in the car are the hazard lights, which have to be a physical button as mandated by the federal government for the United States. So that's right above the screen on the roof. Buttons for your windows, to move the seats back and forth, lumbar support, to put the car in park, and then to manually do your windshield wipers, as well as activate the windshield wiper fluid. I can't really think of any other buttons that are in the car itself, so it takes a little to get used to with the screen, but it allows you to focus on everything else that's going on outside of the car as well. So another thing that I've noticed that I liked about it too, and compared even to the S when I got into this, is just how responsive the steering wheel is, and how tight it is, for lack of a better word. That it is very responsive, even when it's not in sport mode, where it tightens the steering even up even more. There's no, move the steering wheel, like a quarter of an inch, in either direction, to have it sway back and forth. This one, when you move it, it's not terrible. It does have a little bit of a play in it, but it is very responsive to input from the driver. So it takes a bit to get used to, but I really like that. It feels like I'm in control of my car more, so I can feel I can react quicker. Another thing that I enjoy in it is the road feel. Having driven the X, depends on what you like. The X has, I believe, an air suspension on it, or the suspension on it is different. It's a little bit more, I would say, smoother over long distances, but I think the Model 3 has more feel to it, where if I want to feel the road a little bit more, this has more response for the driver, just how it feels to the steering wheel and the seat, just how the car reacts itself. It's not stiff by any means, but I always feel like, if I don't know what road I'm on, but it always feels like I'm in control, and I can tell what's going on the road, whether it's wet, that I'm not like I'm just unsure because the suspension is taking care of all the bumps. It's very comfortable. It's not not by any means like a big air suspension car. It's not gonna be that comfortable, but it is very comfortable. But I love the road feel that's in it. Kind of what I mentioned earlier, I also like how you can focus on the driving more. I know it's kind of weird seeing that big center screen there. You would think that you're going to focus on that more than you are driving. Once you get behind the car, the huge view that you have in front of you with the window, it is easy to focus on the road, I find, actually, than having that center screen over there, where I'm not constantly looking at it. I'm aware that it's there. I'm not staring at my speedometer the whole time. I really think that you are staring at your speedometer a lot. You're speeding, or you're doing something you probably shouldn't be doing in the car. But I can glance over at it every now and then. Navigation worked great, so one time I got to glance over at the center screen is to change the radio station, change the streaming channel, whatever I'm doing on it. If I'm going to input any navigation stuff, I either stop or pull over, or do that beforehand. You can do it on your phone. You can just go to Google Maps and send it to your car, and it will go. So your passengers can even do that too. So that's kind of neat if they have the connectivity to your car. So that I really do like. Allows me to focus more on the driving. Another one I like is that as your car gets older, it is going to improve over time, at least as far as the technology in it goes. Tesla recently released the updated version 9 software for it, which is an over-the-air update, and it improved the blind spot monitoring of the car, added a whole bunch of different features. I might go over that in a different video, but it gets improvements over time, and all the cars will get it. So there's no other car that's really like that that's going to push updates like that to your car after you get it. Once you buy your car, the manufacturer doesn't. I think the majority of them don't really care what you do with the car because they've already got their money. They're not going to upgrade that same car. They're going to have you come in and buy the next model. So any of the new software that comes out, all of the Teslas are going to get it in some shape or form. And there's just to give you an example of this really quick. You might be aware, you might not be. The Consumer Reports originally didn't recommend the Model 3 because of, I think it was back seat being a little more uncomfortable, which I think they fixed with these the newer ones that are coming out, as well as the brake distance on it. The panic brake from like 60 to 0 was like longer than a Ford F-150 when they tested it, which is pretty long for a car. And they didn't recommend it because of those two reasons. I think those are the main two. So Elon got word of it, so that they were aware of the issue. They asked for Consumer Reports data that they had gotten, so they can send it over. And Elon's like, okay, if you can essentially push an update to the cars, can they re-review it? Not sending him a different car, not anything like that. And they asked him when he could expect it, and he was like, this weekend, essentially, is when the update came out. It reduced, it was all software, obviously nothing hardware changed in the car, and it reduced the panic brake from 60 miles per hour to 0, I think by like 40 feet, which is incredible in my mind. Like, there's no other auto manufacturer that is able to do that to all their vehicles in the field over the air to improve braking distance in a panic stop. So that kind of stuff, that's the future, I think, right there, is what you're going to be able to do with the car in the future. And how updates can be pushed to it. It's going to keep improving over time. So that's just kind of my thoughts as far as the 5 main points that I like on my vehicle itself. Just to kind of give you a quick rundown of what they were in case you missed it. I love the minimalist interior, number 1. There's no particular order as well. Number 2, responsive steering. Number 3, the road feel. Number 4, like a focus on driving. And then number 5, the overall improvements for the car over time, which may actually be the biggest one. That's actually pretty neat. So that's going to do it for this one. Just a quick one for today. It was actually a request from comments that I got in a previous video. So that's what I enjoy about my car, the five top features. So that's going to do it for now. Go ahead, like the video, helps out, subscribe. Feel free to ask questions. Of course, the referral code's going to be in the description. And then future videos probably going to be something like what we've done to our car. So those who are thinking about getting a Model 3, looking at getting some accessories for it, we'll go over what we got for our vehicle, besides the paint protection film. We already know over that. Just a couple little things we got for the car, just to kind of improve your overall experience with it. Thanks for stopping by. See you in the next one.